Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so we are discussing 7th chapter. This is the college which I am going to start in another 4 months or 5 months or so, and we'll be teaching about Vedas, Upanishads, other traditions, Vaishnava traditions, Vedic traditions in English. That's the point, because people don't have access to Sanskrit. But we also teach Sanskrit, and then people can learn. And the amazing part is that we'll teach Sanskrit in 1 month. 1 month. It takes 12 years to learn Sanskrit, but we'll teach in 1 month. There's some methods to do that. Of course, you'll not become scholars, but definitely you'll get a hang over what's going around in Sanskrit. And also education is free in this college. That's nice. And you can come down, stay there in Kurukshetra. Prabhupada wanted in Kurukshetra one college, Vedic college. It's there in his books. It's not been done, so we are trying to do that. And we'll also present science in our scriptures, and maths, physics, chemistry, biology, that's all in the scriptures. Okay. So today we're going to discuss 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, an overview. Okay, so what about that? Let's just first understand what is Bhagavad Gita. And we have 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita, is it? And how many verses? Everybody knows? Yeah, 700 verses. And the 18 chapters are divided into 3 parts. First 6 chapters, second 6, and last 6. Why do we do that? Because these six chapters, these sections, they are giving us a particular perception, particular understanding. Now what the understanding they give? First 6 chapters are called as Karma Yoga. Second 6 Bhakti Yoga. Third 6 Jnana Yoga. You might have all read this. But what I am going to do is, Karma Yoga means, these chapters, first 6, they give you decision power. Karma means what to do, what not to do. We have to decide every time, no? Okay, what should be done, what should not be done. What is good, what is bad. You have to decide. Morals, that's what first 6 chapters. Last 6 chapters give information of Jnana Yoga. That is distinction power. Distinction power means how to decide. How to make... I just messed it up. First 6 chapters give us decision power. Last 6 chapters, distinction power. By knowledge, we understand what is good, what is bad. And then we act on that. We decide. So that is Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. That's important. That's we have to understand. And when we know what to do and how to do, then we then execute those things properly, then we develop attachment to God. Is it? If we do things properly, as according to the scriptures. And that attachment is called Bhakti Yoga. That is chapter 7 to 12. So when you become attached to God, of course, first you have to know who is God. Otherwise, how do you become attached to Him? No? We have to have that knowledge. And that knowledge is given in 7th chapter. So 7th chapter is describing, it's summarized into 3 topics. Knowledge of power of God. We have to understand who is God. But not only that, we have to understand how powerful He is. Because first of all, many people do not know who is God. Second of all, people who know who is God, they're confused. What is God? Some people say person, some people say light, some people say power, some people say beauty. Scientists might like to address God as nature, laws of nature. They perceive God as like that. Poets might like to address God as beauty. And yogis and people who are in caves, they might like to address God as some power, supreme power. Devotees as a person. So we have to know who is God and how He is and how great He is. That's very important thing. That is why this chapter is talking about knowledge of power of God. Okay, let me ask you a question. What is the supreme power of Lord? God is powerful, of course, we know. What do you understand by this word power? What kind of power we are talking about? Yeah, I mean to say, what do you understand by this word power? Do I mean power of God means He will do like this and like Superman, some, and we'll all get burnt like that? Like, what do you understand by this term, power? This chapter is talking about power of God. What do you understand by that?
He's like the president of the
No, okay, fine.
Power in that sense.
He's like a king. No? Power? Everything is under his control. Okay? How do you control people? There are two forces. One is sword and another is love. Is it? So real power of God is not sword but love. That's the power this chapter is talking about. We all know great kings and they fell to a woman. Is it? How? They conquered, all entire world and they were under control of a woman. So love is greater than sword. We all know, no? So this 7th chapter is talking about love of God and mercy. Love is always with mercy, isn't it? They're together. Where there's love, there's mercy. Without love, there can't be compassion. And where there's compassion, there has to be love. Otherwise, you can't. So this chapter is talking about love and compassion. That we'll see. It's also talking about those who do not worship Lord, and also talking about those who worship Lord. And there are 7 types of people who worship Lord. So 7 chapter and 7 people. Remember that. 7. That's how you can remember. Okay, let's go now to these verses quickly. Verse number 1. What's this verse? We can just have a look at this and then. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Partha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." So the Sanskrit of this goes something like this. This is Sanskrit. Mai asakta mana partha. This word asakta means attachment. Yogam yunjan madashraya. Krishna is talking about yoga. You can see this word yoga here. Is it? The word yoga is there. You can see in your books. If you want a book? Yeah.
Yeah, I have it in my...
So he's saying,
Thank you.
so Krishna is saying here, now here how we're practicing yoga in full consciousness of me. Krishna is talking about yoga, first of all. With mind attached to me, what is yoga? Attachment. He's defining attachment. You can know me in full, free from all doubt. So here is the slide. This is the point. When Krishna says, be attached to me here, asakt. What do you mean by attachment, first of all? What do you mean by attachment? Can anybody tell me? Anyway, I just show that. We might think attachment to God is something sentimental, I'm attached to God. But how do you, what's the actual meaning of attachment? And that's the point. Krishna is saying one who is attached, one who works for my pleasure. Attachment doesn't end with love. Attachment ends with service. To give pleasure to somebody, That's the meaning of attachment. So I can say, I'm attached to you. Well, it's your life, it's my life, but I'm attached to you, that's okay. That's not attachment, no? If I'm attached, I have to do something to please you. So you have to express attachment. So Krishna is saying, attachment means a person who works for my pleasure. He doesn't speak big things and do nothing. That's not attachment, no? So people can talk, but they also have to do. They have to show their attachment by working for pleasure of God. Just like, for example, you have come to hear Bhagavad Gita. So that's some kind of attachment, is it? It is, because otherwise why you will come? In your street you can meet your friend and then that friend can tell you, yeah, I'm also attached to God. But then if you don't come and hear about Him, then what kind of attachment is it? You understand? Okay. And the next word Krishna uses is yoga. Yoga. So he's talking about yoga in the first verse. No, America, yoga. America is all about yoga. Hot yoga, cold yoga, wet yoga. I don't know. There's so many things going on here. So, I don't know if yogis come from India to America, if you somehow get them, true yogis, not like institutional yogis. If you get yogis from Himalayas, because when I joined ISKCON, when I was reading Bhagavad Gita and doing, so I went to Himalayas for around a year. I was there up. You all know Himalayas, no? Himalayas. I went to Himalayas and then I was with these yogis, like true yogis. They were like without clothes in cold, and they're good people. And if you bring them to America and you show them, first of all they'll not come. But if you manage to bring them, then if you show this is hot yoga, cold yoga, they can die because of laughing, Yeah, this is like what's happening. This is like gymnastics, aerobics. This is not yoga, is it? Because it is said in yoga. Oh, you all know about hot yoga? Hot yoga, you know that, no? I was talking to Deepak. So in yoga, it is said, as soon as you sweat, you should stop yoga. Even one drop of sweat is there, you should stop. Yeah. This is the first statement of Patanjali. If you read Patanjali, that's a text of yoga. So we have 4 texts for yoga book, 4 textbooks. Patanjali Yoga, people only read Patanjali. And then there is also Gherand Samhita. You ask any yoga person who is practicing. And then we have Shiva Samhita. And then Hatha Yoga Pradipika. So half knowledge is very dangerous. Yeah, people only Patanjali and all this, and then they don't read other books. You should not do all this. This is like, we are not here to stretch and sweat, and yoga is not to do with that. Yoga is not stretching exercise. Yoga is controlling the airs. It's a misconception. We're stretching things. That's not the point. So yoga means Krishna, but Krishna, see, in 7th chapter, Krishna is redefining the words. Got this point? He's giving redefinitions. That's why Krishna spoke Gita, because so have you read 4th chapter? You have gone through 4th chapter? So Krishna says this science was lost, and I'm re-establishing it. Now there's a question. How this science is lost? Before Krishna, Vedas were there, scriptures were there, saints were there. There was nobody who could tell this science. They could tell, but they didn't have the interpretation. They didn't have the understanding of that. So Krishna came, okay, fine, you all people know Vedas. Before him, people knew Vedas, they had the understanding. Krishna told, but you got it all wrong. Your definitions are wrong. That is why you see attachment he defines for my pleasure. Yoga he defines for me. You have to work for me. Yogam yunjan madashraya. You see here this word, madashraya, you can see in your books. You have to take shelter of me. That is the meaning of yoga. Ultimate aim of yoga is to take shelter of me. That's all. Finish. You can stand upside down. You can do whatever you want, but you have to take shelter of me. Otherwise, what's the point? You can close your eyes and you can think of something, Om or something. And all these people who practice yoga, you know what happens? Till the time they're doing yoga, their mind is peaceful. But afterwards, when they leave, then again their mind is disturbed. I have asked so many people, I'm traveling in America, all these students, when I was in San Diego, they were practicing yoga, they came to me and they told, yeah, that's fact, when we are practicing meditation, we feel good, but when we leave, we become disturbed. So, first verse is very important. This verse is very, very important. And then Krishna says, Shrinu, hear from me. Hear from me means, Krishna says, give attention. Because if you don't pay attention to Gita and to this class, we lose important points. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you that there's some connection, what Krishna is trying to do. There's a theme behind this 7th chapter. Okay. Krishna uses the word samagram. I'm going to tell you fully. Here Krishna says, how am I practicing yoga in full? You can know me in full. So what's the meaning of full? That he explains in the 2nd verse. So 2nd verse is, you can just have a look here. I'll just project here. 2nd verse is, Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyami asheshata yaj gyatva neo bhuvanyaj gyatva mama shishyate. I shall now declare to you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known, nothing further shall remain for you to know. This is good? So, he's giving us everything in full. So, what do you mean by full? The idea is, this is meaning. He uses these two words, Jnanam and Vijnanam. Jnanam means material knowledge. Vijnanam means spiritual knowledge. At least what Prabhupada translates. Jnanam also means knowledge and Vijnanam means realizations. There's a difference between knowledge and realizations, is it? Can anybody tell me what's the difference between knowledge and realization? Anybody?
When knowledge is more theoretical, realization is practical.
Okay, but then you have to say what is practical. Yeah, fine. Knowledge is theoretical, realization is practical, but then we have to explain what's practical, no? So that brings up another question. So, are you getting my point? Difference between knowledge and realization?
Like knowledge is like knowing something, realization is like being something.
Okay, fine. Yeah, being something, yeah, good. So, but I need explanation for that, no? What do you mean by being something?
That you are that. I mean,
Yeah, that's okay. You're trying to tell, but it has to come out, no? Yeah.
It is experience. Realization is
Okay, realization, experience, knowledge is?
knowledge is just mental. Knowing.
So mental is not experience? That's a mental experience.
It is an experience that hasn't materialized.
And what do you mean by materialized?
That you can sense with like the sensory input that you have. Like
Oh, but that's knowledge, no? We are taking sensory input and it's going in our brain information. That's knowledge, no? It's getting confused, no?
what I mean, you can see, hear, taste, smell, or
Okay, good, yeah.
so
Okay, I can...
that maybe realization is something else.
Yes, so...
Yes.
That's okay. That's your. It's a guess. That's okay. That's fine.
Is it like knowledge is something you acquired, you have been through experience, like you said?
Okay, and what's
And
realization?
Realization is on top of the knowledge. What for the things you have not experienced? How do you do? Like the decision of future.
Okay, fine.
I got it. I got what
Okay.
I think.
Okay, what?
Second guess.
Yeah, guess. It's
So
a...
knowledge is theoretical knowledge.
Okay.
Or theoretical information. let's
And
say.
realization?
Realization is experiencing the knowledge in your personal life.
Okay, exactly I'll show you what's knowledge and realization. Krishna says in first verse. You see this word asamshayam? Asamshayam means without doubt. First verse. This is difference between knowledge and realization. Knowledge, you have doubts. You might have doubts, But realization, at the level of realization, you will never have any doubt. No doubts. No doubts. You can never get confused at the level of realization. At the level of knowledge, you might get confused. Because if somebody more knowledgeable than you comes, he can confuse you. That's philosophy. But if you realized anybody can come and give his own philosophy, I know. That's all. No questions. No. That's it. So you'll never become confused at the level of realization. That's why Krishna uses that word asamshayam in the first word. It's okay? Make sense? So like we are wearing this t-shirt, like you all. So did you ever get confused that you are this shirt? Sometimes maybe. Did you ever get confused? Never, no? We know, like we are doing so many things, but we know we are not this shirt. So that's realization. We realize this. But with this body, we get confused. We have the knowledge we are not this body, but we get confused. Well, we are not body or not body, But the realized person will never get confused. I'm not this body, just like this shirt. Finish. That's all. So that is Jnanam, Vijnanam. And Krishna is also talking about Jnanam means mercy, Vijnanam means love. He's talking in that thing. All these topics he's talking in this chapter. Krishna he's genius, no? He's God. He's God. He talks many things. Okay, so what about 4th to 7th verse? Krishna is talking about jnana, knowledge, first. First he's talking about knowledge. So we'll just read 4th to 7th verse, that's all. I'll just read for you here. You can just have a look there. And let's see what he's talking about. He told about two subject matters, jnana and vijnana, knowledge and realization. First he'll talk about knowledge, and then he'll talk about realization. He'll give some examples. So knowledge is giving example. What is knowledge? He's talking. What is knowledge? 7/4. Where is it? 7/3. Out of thousands among men, one may enter for perfection, and those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. This is where he begins knowledge. This is nice. So he says, well, to acquire this is knowledge. To know me is knowledge. Chemistry, maths, biology, physics, computer science, this is okay. This knowledge comes and goes. No, 1,000 years back this was not there. Now it is there. After 1,000 years this might not be there, but this knowledge is always there. Krishna says, I call that knowledge which is eternal. That knowledge which is not eternal, that's not knowledge. That is information. There's a difference between information and knowledge. This is IT sector, no? This is information. You can lose information, but knowledge you never lose. It's always there. There's a difference. Knowledge is eternal. Information is temporary. So, to know about me, that is knowledge. 7.4 he says, earth, water, fire, ether, mind, intelligence and false ego, all together these 8 constitute my separate material energies. Now he says, now he talks about knowledge. He talks about 3 things. There's me, there is this word, and there is you all people. Is it? That's what we observe. So knowledge means you observe things and you see. So there's God, and then there is earth, water, fire, air, ether. All these things, matter. And 7.5, besides these, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. And they are living beings who are exploiting nature for their own use. See, this is so nice. Here, Krishna has summarized knowledge in just one verse. He is saying, we're exploiting things, no? Exploiting nature for our own things. This is 4 to 7. And 7th he says, all beings, there is no truth superior to me. This is 4 to 7, yeah. All created beings have their source in these two nature. The source is me. I am the origin. For all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both origin and dissolution. There is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me, as pearls stressed on the thread. So this 4 to 7th verse, Krishna is talking about himself, okay? Supremacy about himself. He is talking about he's a cause, he's independent, everything is dependent. Everything is different from him entirely and also one with him. Everything is under his control. And he is a person. This is knowledge. Krishna declares this is knowledge. If you know this, you are knowledgeable. If you don't know this, you can know many things. But according to my perception, you're not knowledgeable. Because anybody who is having temporary knowledge, I don't call him knowledgeable. So, but then the question is, what is realization? And how do we get that? And those things Krishna is talking in 8 to 12 chapter. He's telling what is realization. So when we understand all these things properly, in 1st to 6 chapters, Krishna declares, if you understand who is God, what is His word around us, this building is there, but this building is temporary. That's knowledge. So when devotees took Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya, they took him to New York, and I think New York or LA, they were showing these buildings, big buildings. So he told, devotees were saying that this is nice buildings and this is good. But Prabhupada told, well, this is nice, but they will be destroyed. So he told, Americans are very intelligent, but they use their intelligence to make a temporary thing. And this is not intelligence. They should use intelligence to make something eternal. No? That makes sense, no? That is why Vedic tradition was, people wanted to know what is eternal and not temporary. So, this is called realization. Knowledge. So, when you understand all these things, then you come to platform of realization. And what is realization? Now you see. Verse 8 to 12. Let's read that. What is the 8th verse? I am the taste of water. See, this is realization. When you understand that God is there, and this word is there, everything is connected to Him, then when you experience this word, you will remember God. This is realization, isn't it? Theory is, God is there, this word is there, this word is under control of God. Okay, this is knowledge. And then we forget that. But realization is, when you see water, when you drink water, you remember God. Because, anyway, what's taste of water, we don't know, first of all. That's another. Water is a mystery. And then light of sun and moon. When you see sun and moon, remember God. So, you don't forget God. This is realization. You perceive this word, you perceive people, but you don't perceive this word, you don't perceive people, you perceive God. You can perceive the invisible hand of God everywhere. That's realization, no? A realized businessman, a good businessman, wherever he goes, he sees money, no? That's it. He can see money in air. He can catch money from air. No, he knows how to catch that. He is a good businessman. He knows. He is realized, But new people who have done MBA, business management school, they'll say, well, what's happening? We can't see money anywhere. He'll say, no, I can see. And I'll tell you how to get that. So that's the difference between knowledge and realization. So Krishna is giving us some examples. You see, this is a realized person. He sees water, but he doesn't see water. He sees me. He sees sun and moon, but he doesn't see sun and moon. Only he sees me. As the syllable Om in Vedic mantras, when he chants Om, he remembers me. I am the sound in ether. When he hears anything, any sound, he remembers me. I am the ability in man. So all these things, you can read all those things, go back home. This is 8 to 12th verse. You got the point? You can read afterwards. This is realized person. And then I'll go forward. Okay. Now the question is, why people do not accept Krishna as supreme if it is so simple to understand? No, we have understood all these things. You've understood, no? At least theoretically, there's knowledge, there's realization. What's the problem? Why people are so confused?
So there's there's a premise that you.
Okay, fine. I'll discuss afterwards because I'll just finish this. We lose a track.
Yeah. Go ahead.
That's okay. So the point is, why people do not accept Krishna as supreme if it is so simple to understand? Just 12 verses, anybody can read. This book is available in the market. And accept it. That's all, finished. But there's a problem. So Krishna is dealing with a problem. And verse 13 is talking about Maya. Illusion. There's an energy acting there. No? Just like in this air you have signals of Google. You can't see, but there are there. There's a wireless. So there's some energy there in this air, which we don't have instruments to access. But if you're in meditation, you can access those signals. And actually, Jiva Goswami, there's one acharya. He actually literally says there are signals in the air. There are signals, which is there's a power of Lord. There's an energy of Lord, which makes us confused and bewildered. So that is Maya. Have you heard this term Maya, everybody? Have you heard it? Like before? Okay, so this is energy of God. So what is the function of Maya? Can anybody tell me? Yes. What is Maya? Assumptions and misconception. It will confuse us by lodging some assumptions. I'm body. There's no God. You're assuming, no? Without any research, we came to this conclusion: there is no God. This is called blind faith. People say you believe in God. This is blind faith. We say you don't believe in God. That is blind faith. Because without researching, if you accept anything, that's blind faith, no? So if you reject the premise, right at beginning, there's God. I don't accept this. That's blind faith. You are having faith in your premise that there is no God. You got my point? So that's not a good idea. After researching, after doing proper study, then you can say, okay, fine, there's no God. We accept that. After getting a proper training. So that is Maya. And what does Maya do? Okay, let me ask. What does Maya do? It gives you confusion and what all these things. How does illusion keeps you away from God? You get misconceptions? Okay, good. But you can remove those misconceptions, no? By asking from people. Is it? That you get my point? But Maya is tricky. You know what it'll do? What is verse number 13? Let's have a look. See? Deluded by three modes, goodness, passion and ignorance. The whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. You know this goodness, mode of goodness, passion, ignorance? Have you heard that? Okay. So what is mode of goodness? What is the symptom of mode of goodness? Can anybody tell me? Okay, and mode of passion?
Yeah, that you want to accomplish.
Accomplish. And ignorance? You don't want to accomplish. Yeah. So she has a trident with three prongs. One prong is goodness, which will make you feel that you're settled. I don't call it as happiness, but in modern word, you're settled. You know, that's a word. I'm settled in life. I don't need anything. It's okay. That's good. And passion will make you busy. My life is busy. I don't have time. This misconception, she'll lodge that. And ignorance is dumb, you know. I can't understand. It's not for me. That's what people give excuses. It's very hi-fi or whatever, you know. That's or it's mythology, whatever. I don't like this. So she has these three tools. Pretty much everybody is either settled or busy or they're dumb. So they don't accept who is God. Till what time should we?
1:15 is okay.
It's okay because
we have the room till 1:30. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we have a lunch.
Okay, fine, 1:15. Okay, so you got the point? So if we have to save ourselves from illusion, Krishna. Yeah. She's trying to tell you, just get out. She knows I'm talking truth, She is telling you, get out, don't understand these things. If you understand these things, then you can understand what's right, what's wrong. So that's it. So, but the question is, why are we in illusion? Why are we so busy? Why we feel we are settled? And why we are having these misconceptions? And how to overcome it? That's a question. And that's the answer Krishna gives in 14th verse. The divine energy of mind consisting of three modes of material nature is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Why are we in illusion? This is a word Krishna uses, Daivi. You see 14th verse there? I'll show you this here. Devi hai shagunamayi. This word Daivi. You know what the meaning of Daivi? Prabhupada translates as transcendental. Krishna says this energy of mind, Maya, is called Daivi. Daivi is a word coming from Dev. Dev. So Dev means God. Daivi means which belongs to God. Okay. So Daivi, this energy belongs to God. So it is a godly energy. It is not a bad energy. So whatever she'll do for good for us. Not bad. We might perceive it as bad. That's another thing. So mother sometimes she slaps a child. Child might perceive that mama is bad. But mother knows she is doing something good for the child. And that's necessary because if child doesn't read, you have to beat him. No? You have to slap her. So this illusion does like that. Why we are in illusion? Because we are naughty. That's it. We are not bad guys, We don't want to read. We don't want to do our homework. We don't want to read scriptures. God gave us scriptures to help us understand. But we are playing. We are all playing, no? This is a playground. We are doing our own pastimes. Is it? We have all so many pastimes, so many agendas. So this Maya, she then beats us. She gives us suffering. And there's a big question in Western philosophy, why there are so many sufferings? If God is so merciful. This question is here. The problem of evil. So there's an answer. The problem is not with God. The problem is with us. We are naughty. We don't want to read. We don't want to do our homework. So she'll just slap us. That's all. So that is why this word Daivi is used. She's a good mother, illusion, but she punishes us because we are bad child. That's all. That's why we are in illusion. And how to get over it? Krishna says, Mam eva prapadyante. You surrender unto me. Mam means me and not to any demigods. So there are many angels or demigods, or Islam you call as farishte, or whatever names you give. Or scientists might say aliens, or maybe demigods if they come, So don't surrender to them, surrender to me. And prapadyante means surrender to me through a teacher. Don't directly come to me. Because if you directly come to me, you'll not be able to understand me. Because I am full of contradictions. God is full of contradictions. He walks, He doesn't walk. There's a verse in Upanishad, Tad ijjati, tad naijjati. Tad dure, tad vantike. He's very near, at the same time He's very far. He sees and He doesn't see. And what is this? So people from East India Company, East India Company? The Britishers came and they read this. He walks, He doesn't walk. He talks and doesn't talk. Then they thought, my God, these people are crazy. The Hindus are crazy, Our Christianity is much better, it's pretty clear, we have Almighty Father and He talks, and that's okay. But they are saying He talks, He doesn't talk, He walks, He doesn't walk. We can't make sense. So they did some translation in English, and they told it's all bogus. These people do not know what they're talking. It's a mythology. Then they coined the term mythology. It's fairy tales, something like this. We all know history, Max Muller, and we all know history. But now people can understand. No, it's so deep. It's very deep. He talks and He doesn't talk. Yes, He talks but doesn't talk like us. That's how we understand. We talk like fools. But when He talks, it is impregnated with lot of meaning. That is why it is said He talks and doesn't talk. Now it makes sense? This makes sense, no? He's the wisest. He's the greatest, no? So when He talks, in one talk, He can address everybody. Just like Gita. See, Gita, Krishna is speaking where? In Kurukshetra, battlefield. Everybody knows? Who are hearing His Gita? So many people know. How many people were there on battlefield? How many people were there? Can anybody tell me? Yeah, 18 Akshoni. So one Akshoni has around what's the calculation? Yeah, so many thousands of troops, so many thousands of elephants, and so many things. So there were millions and millions of people. Everybody could hear Krishna's voice, and even demigods, they could hear, and even lower planetary systems, they could hear. Everybody could understand from their level, and in their own language. There was no need of Google and translation. There was no need of that. It was translated automatically. People who knew Sanskrit, they could hear in Sanskrit. People who knew English, they could hear in English. Yeah, there were people in that army who knew English. You know this? In that Kurukshetra war, there were people from Europe and England and probably if America was there at that time. There were people from that. And Mahabharata says that in those armies there were people who knew English. There were people who used to call Ravivar as Sunday, and used to call Ek as one. That's English. So there were people, all kind of people were there, and they were understanding in their own language. So that's Krishna. But see, it's so great. How do you understand all these things? You need a teacher. That's all. So verse 14 he says, you can cross illusion by having a teacher. Okay, now there's a question. So you take knowledge and you surrender to God. Simple, no? You get a teacher, find a teacher, take knowledge, surrender to God, illusion is over, you understand God. But it's not that simple. There are so many intelligent scholars who have teacher, who study, but still they don't accept the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. We know, no? So many philosophical circles, so many spiritual teachers, they'll not accept for their own ideas. Why it is like that? Krishna addresses that answer here. And Krishna says in verse 15, you see verse 15 what Krishna says. The miscreants, who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. So Krishna is saying in verse 15, there are something people call as duskritina. Sanskrit word used is duskritina. You can see in their books. So what this word means? This word means what? What is it? Miscreants. What do you mean by miscreants? Miscreants do not surrender to me. Who are miscreants?
That miscreate or something like that? People who miscreated?
No. Actually, yeah, you can logically come to the point which I am telling. Yeah, actually, this can be. Yeah, create something wrong. But okay, fine. Can anybody qualify? What do you mean by duskritina here? Krishna says these type of people do not surrender to me. And then he says there are 4 type of these people. But then what are these kind of people who do not surrender to Krishna? Even after attaining so much knowledge, they don't surrender. Even after reading so much scriptures, they can't come to a conclusion. You know why? Who are these? Intelligent fools. That's what Prabhupada says. This miscreant, no? They're intelligent, they have knowledge, but they're fools because they're proud. Pride destroys wisdom. Is it? No. So, they have big mouth but no ears. Don't want to listen. They think we know, you know. And that is illusion, assumption, no? They assume that I know. I have read things and I know. But there's an advice by Confucius. You know Confucius? Chinese philosopher. He said, anybody who thinks he knows, he doesn't know. Anybody who thinks he doesn't know, he knows everything. So let us be humble, you know. Let us accept we don't know. And then we can advance. Let us be open-minded always. That is advice. So when I was in Himalayas, so I met one yogi. I asked him, you know, what is your advice to me? Like, whatever you have learned your entire life. He told me just one thing. Be open, go deep. 2 words. So, okay, get lost. They talk like that. They're like big yogis, you know, just go, you know. This is my advice. So, be open, go deep. Never think that we know. There's always possibility to know more. Don't block your mind in one paradigm. I learned this and this is this. That's all. Everything is bad. No. And that creates fanaticism, terrorism. That's the problem, no? People are fighting. But Gita wants to open your mind. Krishna says no. So these are intelligent fools because of past life sins or whatever problems. They're proud. They don't accept. And there are 4 type of people like this. First. Okay, who are these 4 type of people? Where is this verse? Who are grossly foolish. Grossly foolish means who don't know anything, but yet they think I know. People are like that, no? If you talk to anybody, okay, this is said in Gita. Yeah, I know. Especially in India, this happens, no? Yeah, this is God, Krishna, and this is I know. That's okay. So they are like. That's why Prabhupada uses grossly foolish. He doesn't say foolish. He says they are grossly foolish. Like at the outset they reject. And then who are the lowest of among mankind? Muda, was that Sanskrit? I just forgot. Yeah, Naradhama, who are lowest among mankind. Lowest among mankind means people who are introduced to Bhagavad Gita but then they leave. They understand everything, but then they have logics confusions, and then they leave. So Krishna doesn't call them unfortunate. He calls them lowest among mankind. They're not unfortunate people who are not exposed. These people exposed, they understood, but they left. So they became intelligent, but yet they're fools to leave. Intelligent fool. And then we have whose knowledge is stolen by illusion. Well, Prabhupada gives example of philosophers and maybe scientists. Science is good, not bad. Scientific endeavor is good. But the problem with scientists is they think that we have understood everything. That's not a good idea. How much science we know? How much scientists know? 5% of universe? 0.5% of oceans? 2% of this material world? That's all they have knowledge, and then they can come up with theory of everything. You can do. That's okay. But they should not be so proud to say that there is no controller, as if they have understood everything. That's not a good thing. After understanding everything, then you can say, okay, I've charted out everything, I've mapped out everything, there's no controller. But before that, at least be humble, at least, okay, fine, you don't want to accept there is God, fine, but don't deny Him. Unless you do your all research. That's a good thing, no? That's a good premise. A good take. And then fourth is who partake the atheistic nature of demons. Demons practically, who hate God. Okay, there's no God, that's all. We will kill him. That's demons, no? Even if there is God, we'll kill him. That is demons. So these people will never surrender to God. Just like Raman. You're aware of Raman? Raman. You don't know? Raman. You know who is Raman? Okay, yeah. He was a demon, and he fought with Lord Ram. Yeah, we celebrate Diwali because of that. He was a demon. I don't know what in Western conception, who is a demon like here? Huh? Today. Today is what? Halloween? Yeah. People become ghosts and demons. Yeah. So yeah.
Actually, there are certain traditions who today worship ghostly.
Acha. Maybe. Acha. Maybe. Okay, so yeah. So they'll not surrender to God. What to do?
Keshav, sir, just wanted to check on the time.
Yeah.
Time is 7:12. Yeah.
Yeah, can you just...
Yeah, I'll just go quick. Yeah. I have to. Yeah, go quick. Okay, fine. So here I'll just go. So okay, fine. These 4 people do not surrender. 4 people surrender. And who are those? Sukritina. So Krishna says in verse 16, among best of Bharat, 4 kind of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. So what do you mean by Sukritina? They are intelligent, and because of past life credits, they are humble and exposed to some devotion. They are humble. They accept, and they are open and to go deep. Okay. I think we have 2 minutes now. Can we just hold on for 2 minutes and then I'll just finish it off? Okay, fine. So Krishna says there are 4 kind of people who surrender to me. The distressed, desirer of wealth, inquisitive, and who is searching for absolute knowledge. Okay. So can you tell me who among these 4 who is the best who surrender to Krishna? Who is searching for knowledge, is it? So that is why Krishna says here, verse 17, people who are searching for knowledge, 𝗂𝗂𝗿 𝗪𝗀𝗀, you see that word Sanskrit, who is searching for knowledge, real knowledge means me, surrender to me, who is doing devotion, he is very dear to me. And what about other people? Are they dear or not? Krishna answers in 18th verse. He says, yes, others are also dear. All those devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls. Others are also dear. But people who are in knowledge, they are more dear to me. Why others are dear? Because at least they are coming from me, to me at least, They are not going to ghost or demigods. They are coming to me. So they are coming to me with some motives, that's all. They want money. They want to get rid of distress, miseries. No problem. But the best person is who is in knowledge, who wants to understand me. So now the question comes. Krishna says, my devotee is the best. The question is how to become a devotee. How to become a pure devotee? That he answers in the 19th verse. Oh, this is a nice verse. After many, many births, he is actually in knowledge surrender unto me. Knowing me to be the cause of all causes, such a great soul is very rare. Bahunam janmanam ante. This verse is there. How to become a pure devotee? It is very difficult to become a pure devotee. To understand Vasudevam Sarvamiti, everything is Krishna. So we talked about realization. A pure devotee will never forget that there is God. He'll have taste in water, he'll experience Krishna. Sunlight, moonlight, he'll remember God. That's a pure devotee. But it's difficult. We have to practice. And we have to practice fast. Because there are many things which can stop us. No? The greatest obstacle on a path to God is we ourselves. We want to stop ourselves, our own confusions. So, okay. So the question is, if everybody comes to Krishna with desires, for money people come to Krishna, for getting their miseries. So why do people go to demigods? What's there why everybody can come to me? Krishna says, I'm open. You want something? Okay. You don't want something? Okay. You want devotion? Okay. Why do people want to surrender to other people? So that's what Krishna gives answer in 20 to 23rd verse. You can read those verses afterwards. Krishna says people who have lost their spiritual sense, they go to other demigods. People who have not got contact with devotees, they go to demigods. Who are not exposed to proper knowledge, then they go to this demigod, that demigod. They want to fulfill their desires. And not all paths lead to the same goal. This is 23rd verse. This is very important. See, men of small intelligence worship demigods. Their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship demigods go to the planet of demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. If you go to India, people will say all paths lead to the same goal. No, you do anything, but finally you are in heaven. That's the idea. But that's not the Krishna says. Different paths, different goal. If you do stupidity, you are in stupid loka. If you do devotion, you are in with me. That's all finished. So, yeah, it's finished. There are few people who are worse than people who surrender to demigods. You know why? Because there are few people who have read scriptures, who know Krishna is supreme, but still they not surrender. You know who are these? These are impersonalists. This is 24th verse. So 24th verse, Krishna says here, unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. This is a problem in India, no? God is light. Even in America, God is light. He is power. I feel him. That way. So these are unintelligent people. They have taken so much knowledge, but they'll not surrender. They're worse than these people. At least demigod worshippers do not have knowledge. They're not exposed to devotees. That's why they don't know. But these people, in spite of knowledge, they come to wrong conclusion. Who is worse? People who are in ignorance or who have knowledge? If you don't know anything and if you fail, teacher will not beat you. If you study everything and if you fail, you're a nice beating, What? You're dumb for what? You wasted my time and you studied so much and you fail. So, 3 more verses. Why can't impersonalists see God? Why can't these people, after reading so much, they come to conclusion God is light? Krishna gives answer in 25th verse. I am never manifest to foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by my internal potency. Krishna says, these people who are only by scholarliness, you cannot come to me. You have to also serve my devotees. You have to chant my name. So many people, they are reading Bhagavad Gita and they write thesis on Bhagavad Gita. You go to colleges, theology department, philosophy department, but without being with devotees, serving them, chanting his names, Krishna will not reveal himself. It's not possible. So Krishna is affected by illusion? Krishna says no. 26th to 27th verse, he says, I am not. Everybody is in illusion, but I am not affected by illusion. I know everything that has happened in past, in present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know living entities, but no one knows me. We are people who don't do devotion, they are in delusion. O conqueror of all living entities, born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arising from desire and hate. And last 3 verses, Krishna says here. So one question comes, if everybody is in delusion, to become devotee is so difficult. Who is qualified to become a pure devotee? Krishna answers in 28th verse. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and who have sinful actions completely eradicated. Yeah, you can do. They engage themselves in my service with determination. You are having... Maya is asking you to go out here. So, who surrender to God? Who advances in devotion? Now we come to Krishna, we want to advance. Krishna is giving a solution. Who can advance? Whose sinful activities are destroyed and whose pious activities have arisen. That means, okay, so there's a quiz. How do you define what is sin? Sin is a big word. Yeah. What is sin? And what is pious things? I want quick answer. Okay, anything which is against devotion, service to Lord, that is sin. Even though it might look good in public, in the eyes of people. Anything which helps to go near God, that is pious things. So that is, Krishna says, when person is free from sins, unfavorable things, and full of all favorable things, favorable attitude, favorable mentality, favorable circumstances, he can advance in devotion. There are some people who come to Krishna with the desire for liberation, just like many people come with desire of money, get rid of distress. Some people come with desire of liberation. And some people, last verse, 30th verse, Krishna says, they are in full consciousness of me. Those in full consciousness of me know me to be governing principle of material manifestation. These are pure devotees. They don't go to demigods. They know the purpose of all demigods, all method of sacrifice, can understand and know me, Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. This is pure devotee. And this is why I told, there are 7 people who come to God. You can see there. 3 people come with desires. Desire to get free of distress, for money, and then just to know something. 4th person comes with desire for liberation. Some people go to demigods and also come to God mixed. Some people come to God, but they think he is light. And 7th type of person, he comes to Krishna, he is pure devotee. So there are 7 people who come to God. Out of them, pure devotee is a perfect. This is the summary of this chapter. Who is God? What is devotion? How to advance in devotion, and how to become pure devotee. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Now you go and read this chapter. It will be interesting.
Thank you.
Is there any questions? While eating, we can discuss questions. That's it. Oh yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah.
What do you live?
Huh?
In India?
I live in Delhi.
On Delhi.
Delhi. But I travel mostly. I travel and preach.
Do you have some videos in YouTube or something?
Yeah, I have videos. I have my card. I'll give you my card. I have my card.
I have a question.
Yes, Ru.
You said this that there are people who don't follow the path and they will go to demigods and they live in that world and they cannot do much about it.
Yeah.
But we also know that we are all part of the same. We are part of Supreme. And from what we've understood or learned, the Supreme cannot be happy without all coming to Him. So at some point, even the people who are in the demigod world has to come to Him. So how is that? I couldn't do it that way.
Yeah, Krishna says, he says everybody will come back to me. He'll come to me. No.
Every Atma is part of Paramatma. Paramatma cannot.
That's okay. But if they follow the proper path, then they'll come. Otherwise, they'll never come.
So there is a path back. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no.
There's always a path back.
Yeah.
Whether it takes.
No, there is a. Yeah, there is a path if they come to the right path. If not, then not. There is just one path. If they come on that, they can come, otherwise not. Krishna says, people who follow them, they go to that. People who follow them, they'll be just there. Krishna will try to bring them on the right path. That's what he will do. But if they don't, then nothing can be done. He will try his best. He is trying his best, but we mess up his plans, So that's he's always trying his best. I'll take. Thank you. First you take. I'll take. Take it. I'll take from there. No problem.
So I have a quick question. So at the very end, you said like 7 people come to God, like in the
Yeah.
like a division.
Yeah.
Does it mean like out of 7 people, like we have like proportionally, or like what does number 7 mean?
No, number 7 means 7 type of people will come to God. That means so we have 7 categories of people.
Okay.
That's the idea.
Okay.
It's not proportional. It's not proportional.
And the difference comes with respect to the motives.
Yeah, motives. Yeah.
And how people want to. Basically, it depends on their desires. Why they want to come.
Yeah. Right.
Whom they want to come.
That's right.
Depending on those 2 factors, you can classify into so many categories.
That's the
Said
point.
that, of the thousands of people who even think about it, only one will end up